Hey everybody, welcome to Comedy on Vinyl. Sorry it's been 2 weeks as opposed to one, but we do have a great episode this week. It's with Dave Holmes. We're talking about a National Lampoon album that he really liked growing up. And it's a great album, and Dave is great. Dave is always funny. He was kind enough to be in my documentary, Lords of Soaptown, which I'm actually finishing up this month. And he sat down with me for an hour to talk about this album. Also, please make sure to follow Dave on Twitter and on Tumblr. He's on Facebook as well. And make sure to watch A Drink with Dave, which is his web series. It's a great show. It's at adrinkwithdave.com, and be sure to donate to his Kickstarter when that goes up, because that's to help him get season 2 made. Also, we have another live episode coming up May 28th. Monday, 7:30 p.m. at Improv Olympic IO West here in Los Angeles, and it's going to be a great show. You can buy your tickets on TicketWeb. They're only $5 a piece. You can get a 2-for-1 deal if you show up at the box office, show the invite on your phone or a printout. Make sure to RSVP on the Facebook event page, which you can find through our Facebook page. Just look for Comedy on Vinyl and like us there, and then go to the event page and RSVP. Get your tickets. Mike's going to be there. Jeremy's going to be there. I'm going to be there, of course. And we do have another guest coming up that we just can't announce yet. So please RSVP, come to the show, enjoy, sit down, get a little drunk, and please enjoy this episode. Thank you so much.
Oh, hello there. I'm Newton Ames, talking to you on behalf of the Monolithic Oil Corporation about today's energy situation. You know, if we all just sacrifice a little, we can pull together to beat the current problems of not enough energy. And Monolithic is doing its part by killing most of the birds that nest around our beautiful oil refineries. Birds eat up a lot of food, and as everyone knows, food takes energy to grow and prepare. So the fewer birds there are, the less energy will be wasted. Now, how can you help? Well, if there are any old folks around the house, just set them outside at night. This looks like a long, hard winter, and the fewer people there are, the less energy demand there'll be. Leaving the old folks outside is nothing new. The Eskimos do it all the time. And they know a thing or two about surviving in cold weather without much heat. You betcha.
Sure.
All right, let's do this. Hey, everybody.
Oh,
yeah.
So we're off and running.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But don't apologize. I wasn't ready either. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Comedy on Vinyl. This week with me is Dave Holmes.
Hi.
And we're doing National Lampoon's That's Not Funny. That's sick.
Yes.
And I'm always surprised when people, tell me what they'd like to talk about.
Yeah.
Some people, are just like, Steve Martin, Bill
Right.
Cosby. Nobody's brought this one up, and I've seen it a million times at the store. So why'd you pick it?
Well, I picked it because I think one of my brothers had it on a cassette. Like somebody found it in a used record store, and so they got a duped copy of it.
Yeah,
I listened to it a couple of times and immediately lost interest, and I just became obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Because it was, it sort of represented my older brothers who were much older than me.
Right.
It was a kind of humor that I didn't really get.
Sure.
Because it's, now I'm looking at it, it's 1977?
I think so.
Something like that. And a lot of it I think was recorded before.
Yeah.
And it's just weird. It's just it was one of the first things that made me go, oh, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like stand-up comedy I always liked, but it seemed like it was like magic people doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like people who just were touched by something that I didn't have. Mm-hmm. But ensemble comedy.
Yeah.
Is just a bunch of people goofing around.
Sure.
Having fun. And it was sort of like a Carol Burnett type of a deal, but much hipper and cooler.
Yeah.
And they talked about a bunch of stuff that I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But there was also sort of super crazy broad comedy.
Yeah.
It was and all these people, like Christopher Guest is on this thing.
That's right.
Belzer and all these people who went on to be huge.
Yeah, and I read all that after I listened to it, so I have to
Yeah.
listen to it again because I honestly don't know if I'm going to recognize their young voices.
Yeah,
at this point.
it's very strange. But it's a mixture of sort of brainy kind of I don't know if it's brainy,
right?
But I just didn't get it.
Sure, yeah.
They're talking about things that went on in the 70s and stagflation and stuff like that. We don't understand anymore.
No,
but then also really broad shit where there's birds fucking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Pretty simple.
It's crazy. There, and I remember there was there's something on. I haven't listened to this in a very long time.
Okay.
But there's an Olympic gymnast portion
of
it.
God, yeah,
that's just hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just great little moments that I think are hilarious, and it really kind of informed my sense of humor. Sorry for talking for 9 minutes.
No, that's what we need.
Oh,
This
good.
is good. Like
This is what we want?
my co-host Mike is not here, and
Yeah.
sometimes he brings it together when I just sit there and literally go. So
That's fine.
but I'm not going to do that.
I can
today.
yap.
I'm not going to do that today.
Right.
And I listened to this for the first time not that long ago,
Yeah.
obviously, because you recommended it, and
Yeah.
holy shit, like it's. I haven't listened to anything like this ever.
Yeah.
I mean, the most thing it feels like to me is like Firesign Theater. Did
Right.
you ever listen to any Firesign?
Never did.
No.
Never did. No.
Um,
For that for whatever reason, never appealed to me.
Yeah.
It always, even when I was kind of young,
Mhm.
and I think I probably discovered this when I was maybe 13, 14.
Uh-huh.
And even then, I felt like those are, like, that seemed nerdy to
Yeah,
me. Even though
yeah.
I didn't get that either.
Right.
It just seemed like, it was like the difference between Saturday Night Live and Dr. Demento.
Yeah.
Was the
Yeah.
difference between this and Firesign Theater.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they seem like people who own top hats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I could see
Yeah.
that.
So
Maybe a
couldn't
little
get on board.
a little more hipsterish.
A little more hipsterish, maybe.
Yeah, I haven't. I've only listened to a little bit of Firesign, and I've gotten into it more. I think because of the enthusiasm of some of my friends who recommended we review it specifically for this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I noticed. Yeah, I can see that. It's kind of it is intelligent. It's
Yeah.
intelligent humor, even though the subject matter again is not. Necessarily, because a lot of it's about, let's see, there's a lot of rape, there's a lot of sex, and
A lot of rape. Yeah, and there's like Mr. Rogers, sort of.
really, really freaky, creepy Mr.
Freaky
Rogers.
creepiness. Yeah, Bill Murray is all over
Yeah,
this.
that's right. Okay, I thought I heard his voice on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. For you then, and again, I'm glad that somebody else is bringing this up. I'm going to
Oh, goodness gracious. Excuse me.
without me having to bring it up myself, is like having that experience with another person, maybe with an older person introducing you to comedy.
Yeah.
Did you have moments as a kid just sitting and listening to any vinyl comedy on your own or with friends?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah, I had a friend whose dad was really into Steve Martin, so we would just sit next to the speaker and listen to Let's Get Small, just over and over.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There really wasn't... I mean, I guess there was a lot of comedy on vinyl, but like George Carlin, I'm looking at right now. I knew people who had it. I remember seeing it at the record store and being terrified by the cover. But yeah, I was kind of, I guess I was, what the hell is going on? What is that? What is going on? Oh, it's repulsive.
Unprofessional.
Really unprofessional. Really unprofessional. I'm totally kidding. It's fine. But yeah, I was kind of, again, like when I was a kid, it was sort of the early days of HBO.
Yeah.
So there would be like Robert Klein specials
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. And again, it was a little, I don't know if it was brainy, but it was certainly for older people,
Of
but I
course.
didn't care.
Exactly,
I would just sit and watch it. Anything that like other people laughed at, I just felt like I should also be laughing.
Yeah, that's a big thing I noticed in the development of a lot of comedians is that desire to want to just not necessarily go along with the crowd, but you see all these people are having so much fun and joy, and you want to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's like it seemed to me when I was a kid. Oh, now I'm looking at you. You own a top hat.
I do own a top hat.
Jeez,
I don't wear it a lot.
Oh, I'm eating
That's
my
fine.
words. I'm
That's
really eating
okay.
my words. But to me, it seemed like a different way to express intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like my first, experiences with smart people were them, being smart in school, or whatever.
Right.
Or like looking at scientists or fucking whatever.
Sure.
But this was like these people seemed to me to be just as smart. But that was how they expressed their intelligence. It was like by writing sketches and goofing around with each other, and it was like, I am on board.
Yeah.
You know?
What were your first experiences like? Doing? Isn't that great?
So good.
There's. I was just. I don't know if they did another one that wasn't a picture disc. I've only found a few comedy ones.
The copy that I have, because I finally did find it on vinyl a couple years ago, is that, but it's on this cover. So anyway, sorry.
No problem. I don't remember what I was saying, but I'm sure
first-
it was really intelligent.
Yeah.
No, your first experience like performing or doing sketch or what you call ensemble comedy, which actually sounds better to me. But.
Yeah. Well, I in college I got asked. There was like this secret society at my school. It was 12 seniors and 1 junior.
Okay.
And it called the Crusadists. We were the Crusaders, the Holy Cross Crusaders. It was a terrible mascot, really. But then it was like this show that would happen at the end of the year, and it was like 12 seniors, 1 junior, and then that group would pick next year's. Like the 1 junior would stay on to sort of supervise, but everybody would pick one more person to sort of carry on the tradition.
Okay.
And the rule was that if you asked to join, you could not join.
Okay.
It was like a total secret thing, and I remember seeing that freshman year and being like, that is my only goal for my education is to be asked to join this group when I'm a senior.
Yeah.
And I was. And I was so fucking excited.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what to do with myself. And like, and it's, 2 weeks, I think it's, maybe it's just 1 weekend worth of shows that you do. Maybe 2. But like everyone's so keyed up for it. And it's the end of the year, and everyone's got spring fever, and it's like, and they've come to expect it, and you make fun of the people of like, your classmates. It was a small school, but also the faculty, but then also just do some goofy sketches and stuff like that. And we had so much fucking fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just like, for the first time ever, I was like, it's like I could potentially do this.
Right.
It was, I was set up to succeed because it's, it was a brand by then, and people were ready to laugh. But I was like, man, this is what I want to do. And then it took me a few years to really get serious about it. I graduated and I went into advertising, but I would take like improv classes at night and do some really crappy sketch and improv shows in bars where nobody wanted to watch us or listen to us. We'd be on one end and the TV would be on the other, and there would be a game, so we'd be playing for backs of heads.
Yeah.
And so like that was, demoralizing, but I just loved it. I loved it more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
So
can you think of anything on here specifically that might have informed, or is it just generally just informed you as a comedian? Is there anything specific about this album that...
I think what this album made me think was that, like, it doesn't have to make sense.
Sure.
It can just be funny. Because there are a couple moments on here that are utterly surreal.
Absolutely.
And those were my favorite moments. And it was just, I think they were probably just high in the studio and doing mountains of cocaine. Of course. They didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were just following their own muse. So, like, I remember thinking, like, I'm just going to do shit that I think is funny, and then maybe somebody else will think it's funny too. Yeah. And throw things in there that would make me laugh if somebody else did them. Yeah. I'm going to do them. I'm not going to, like, and I've gone back on this a million times, but I don't, like, I went into it thinking, like, I'm not going to do things that other people want me to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. Right. Right. And I did. And I wasn't as successful as these guys, but it worked out. Yeah, it's there are a couple things on here that just make me roar. Yeah, and because they're just so weird.
Hey, asswipe, where'd you get that Sansucci amplifier?
I got it at Stereos and stuff, jag-off, and it only cost me $9.99.
$9.99? What a deal! For the amplifier and the tuner?
Yeah, and that's not all, shit-face. I also got an anti-static record cloth and 2 HLH Crowd Claudio Quattro Quirk 3000 speakers that you're drooling all over, scumbag.
Only $9.99? I must be some sort of Neanderfuck for not having gone down to Stereos and stuff and got one already. I gotta borrow some money. Gotta get my head up my ass sometimes.
If you've got your head up your ass about stereos, come to Stereos and Such, located at the Bergen Shopping Mall.
Can you think of any sketches from your years in that troupe? For your year in that troupe, I'm sorry. Stand out.
I kind of don't really.
Yeah.
Or I do, but they wouldn't make sense.
Right.
There was one thing. Alive had just come out. And it was a really snowy winter. So I wrote a sketch where, and one of the deans of students was just this enormous fat guy. And so the final sketch in our thing was like a bunch of us were snowed into Mulady, which was one Mullady, which was one of the dorms, and it's where Dean Joe McGuire, who was super fat, lived. And so they're all snowed in, and there was nothing left in the vending machines but those strawberry wafers, and so they decided that they were just going to eat Dean Joe. It's not that funny. I mean, you just have to know that he's super fat and whatever.
Right,
so
that's good.
But yeah, I mean, I remember writing that, and people just roared when there was the whole thing of like, we're going to eat Dean Joe. It's not funny, but it was a perfect example of like a bunch of people who knew who that guy was, and they wanted to laugh at him. And it was like, this is a joke that we all get, and every night it got like this huge laugh, and it just made me grow 2 feet.
Sure. Yeah. Is that the first time, that you had that experience? I mean, everybody likes to ask about somebody's first experience with a laugh. Right. So just out of curiosity, is that the first,
I remember, I don't remember what I said, but I do remember like the first big laugh that I ever got in 8th grade. I said something in class and everybody laughed, and it was like the first time that people had laughed at me on purpose. Laughed with me, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
Or laughed because of me or whatever. And I don't even remember what it was that I said, but it was like I had this feeling of power.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait a minute. Because like in the time leading up to it, I was like, I tested well, but I was never a good student. I was a terrible athlete.
Sure.
Terrible.
Okay.
It's probably a common theme in this show. But like when that happened, when people laughed and I had to like hold for laughter, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I think I know what I do. I think I know like where I fit in this world now,
Right.
And I wish I could remember what I said, but I can't.
No, and I'm the same way. There are a couple times when it was way later, I think, for me because you know, poor athlete too, and
right.
Not very popular kid.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, I have a top hat, so not.
Well, there you go. You have a Nerdist framed thing.
I do. I went to the what was it? The second episode that they shot, and then they were giving out the cards, and Chris Hardwick pointed me out, and I was like just melted like a little baby. It was
He's
exciting.
a dream, isn't he?
He's the nicest guy on the
Such
fucking
a nice
planet,
guy.
and it kills me. I hate this. Like the last 3 episodes, I've been gushing about Chris Hardwick like a prick. I'm not trying to.
Yeah.
He's just so nice to me.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, and I don't know how he does that.
Yeah.
Did you guys know each other at MTV? I'll just
No, we didn't overlap.
No,
but,
that's right. He was shooting out here.
Pardon?
He was shooting out here, I think, at the time.
He was shooting out here, and also that show was off the air a couple years before I started.
That's right. Yeah.
But he is one of those people who, when I saw him out, when I would see him out, because I would occasionally, we don't have a ton of friends in common, but we would sometimes be in the same space.
Sure.
And he would, we would give the nod to each other and talk a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel because there are a lot of people who don't do that. I take the fraternity of MTV very seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are a lot of people who don't. They work there, and then it's, a part of their life that's over, and they don't want to talk about it anymore,
right.
and they go on. And it's oh, you work there too? I don't care. Which I think is, is shitty.
Yeah.
But the people who do take it seriously and understand that, we have had a similar life experience.
Right.
And that we might have some things to talk about, those are my people.
Yeah.
And Chris is absolutely one of them.
That's awesome.
Just such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Such a nice guy.
I won't talk about MTV too much because I'm going to talk about it a lot.
I don't mind.
But I'm just curious because I didn't know that you'd gone into advertising. That was the first thing that you did.
Uh-huh.
A couple things. I'm just curious what that might have done for your comedic instincts or drive, and then how doing comedy informed you having to basically just be a VJ. Which you were a funny dude, but you didn't get to be.
Yeah. Well, again, I didn't. By the time I got that job, I didn't really feel like a professional comic. I knew that I could be. I could think on my feet and I could be funny in the moment and whatever. And I knew the basics of improv. I didn't really go crazy far with it, but I knew the basics of it. Mm-hmm. So I came into it sort of confidently. Advertising, though, most of my job was looking at spreadsheets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not. I wanted to believe that it was really creative, and I probably would have been able to make that move if I had stuck with it.
Sure.
But I was kind of stuck in the entry level, looking at Excel a lot,
right?
And and fucking proofreading and all that kind of stuff. So I can't say that it did, except that at the end of every day, I was determined to do something else.
Yeah.
I was this is not what I want to do with my life. And after about 4 years, when I got the MTV job, I was actually, I was temping through an agency called Mademoiselle. So that was not at all emasculating to show up. I was working at a bank. I had just left my advertising job, and I think my final thing is that I worked at a bank, doing presentations for investment bankers and stuff like that, because they would literally, their presentation putting together pool was 24 hours a day.
Jesus.
So you could go in at any time of the day and work as long as you want, and they paid a fortune. I was making more than I was making in advertising.
Oh shit.
But you had to it was starting to be these investment bankers who were just out of grad school were starting to be a year or two younger than me. And so having to put together PowerPoints and shit for them.
Yeah.
It was a little rough.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I had quit advertising because I was I need to devote all of my energy to trying to perform.
Yeah.
Because I was 25 or 26 or whatever. And I was I don't have to support anybody. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to make anybody happy but myself. I'm in New York. It's crazy hard to live here. And if I'm going to do it, I should be doing something that I love. And luckily this thing came kind of quick.
Yeah.
I was just totally struck by lightning. Right place at the right time. But it happened, which is nuts. But that was a long-winded way of saying, I think what advertising gave me was a fire under my ass to do something else. Sure. Because a lot of it is really soul-crushing.
Yeah. How did it feel being on camera in front of that many people for the first time, and then did you get to use your comedy skills?
Yeah, I did. I think right away I did. Because I kind of felt like during that whole sort of contest thing, I was, I looked around and there were pretty girls, and there was Jesse, who's a real character, and there were a lot of types.
Yep.
And I felt what I brought to the table was I'm a big music nerd.
Yeah. And
I'm kind of I can be funny.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah.
And so I tried to use that wherever I could and slide in a few lines here and there to let people know that I understood what was going on.
Yep. Yeah.
And so Yeah, so I did get to be sort of funny at the beginning, but being on camera, okay, the one thing that I didn't want to do, when I went in, first of all, I didn't think I would get put on air ever. I thought I might get hired as a writer or something like that, which I would have been thrilled with. But when it started to look like they might put me on air, I was like, I just want to do the VJ segments in the studio or on the street or whatever. Don't put me in front of a crowd. Because even in doing improv, I hated talking to the crowd and getting a suggestion and all that. Yeah. I was great doing characters, but I was very uncomfortable as myself. And so I was like, just don't make me like have to work a crowd or anything like that, because I'll fucking fall apart. And my first show was like nothing but me working a crowd, and thank God they did that, because it pulled it out of me. I wouldn't have done it. You know, I'm the kind of person that like, if I'm afraid of it, I'm just not going to do it unless I'm forced to. And it was, and I wanted this job more than anything in the world. And so my first job was that. Yeah. And I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. I was so terrified. It was set in a bar, and the producer of it, this guy George McTeague, I will never forget him. Because, like, in between segments in the first few shows, he would, like, furtively order me a beer and then, like, call me back and just, like, drink that. And, like, make me drink it. And you know what? It worked. Yeah. It worked. Yeah. I was looser, you know? I mean, luckily, it didn't become too much of a crutch. Right. But, yeah, like, I was, I drank a Corona in between in commercial breaks for the first few shows that I did, and it helped a lot. And it was, the thing about it was, I'm talking a bunch. I'm sorry.
No. This is all that
was that for a lot of it, I was in shock. For like the first probably more than a year that I worked at MTV, I was in shock. Yeah. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Yeah. So people would, everything just immediately got so surreal that it was like, I couldn't think enough to be afraid of a crowd. Yeah. I was a little reserved. The beer helped. But I couldn't. I didn't have it. I couldn't devote enough mental energy to being afraid. Right. Because most of it was just not believing what the fuck was going on. Sure. And thinking I was having a dream. Right. Or whatever. Right. So yeah. So I was really in shock. Like it didn't hit me until a couple years in. Like, this is my job. This is what I do. Yeah. Then it started to get weird. Yeah. But yeah, for the first like year or two, I was really like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Yeah. Did you have as much time to do comedy at that time, or no? And I could kick myself because, well, you know what? I kind of did. My schedule wasn't like, it wasn't backbreaking, but it was definitely unpredictable, and there was a lot of travel and all that. And so, and in those years, I remember just before the MTV thing happened, one of the sketch groups that I was performing with auditioned for Aspen. Okay. And in our Aspen audition, it was all like, it was 3 or 4 comedy groups performing for a live audience, and there were Aspen people there and whatever. And like right after us was the Upright Citizens Brigade, like those 4. Holy shit. Doing Saigon Suicide Squad, which is fucking hilarious. Yeah. And like, it was the first time I'd ever seen Amy Poehler, and I had just gotten off stage, and then she started, and it was like, well, A, we're not going to get in. And B, like, this woman is the funniest person I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. And then the rest of the crowd was just, like, the other 3, of course, are brilliant as well, but Amy really shined in that one. And like, and I was like, God damn it, those guys are great. And like a year or so later, they started their school. Okay. And then like the first wave of people is like Andy Daly and Paul Scheer and Rob Hubel and Rob Riggle and that's right. All of those people. And I remember thinking like, I should take classes. Yeah. Because they would be great. Yeah. And but what stopped me is that like I was starting to be on TV, and I didn't want to take a class because sucking is such a huge part of improv. Sure. Yeah. I didn't want to suck in front of people and be recognizable. Yeah. Like my vanity kept me from doing it because I didn't want people to say like, see me on TV and tell their friend like, oh, I had an improv class with that guy and he sucks. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is stupid. It's so stupid. I look back at it now like, how much fun could I have had? Right. But whatever, I didn't do it. So
it seems to be a very freeing thing for people now. It seems to be an okay thing to do if you're as big as John Hamm, and he'll go out and I don't know if he sucks, but everybody sucks every once in a while. So he's got to go out there and risk it. So I mean, I totally understand why you would have done that, but at the same time, I understand why you would regret it at the end of the day.
Furious at myself. Yeah. I mean, so I didn't. Yeah. And I was there's a lot like I had a great time, all of my time at MTV. But like, I look back and they were so receptive to ideas. I could have been pitching so much more. Of course, I could have been fucking around on stage with great people at night. Like there was a lot that I didn't take advantage of.
We're going to take a walk in our neighborhood. So let's go up the steps. 1, 2, 3. Let's open the door. Let's go outside in the yard. Okay? Can you say that? Yard? Sure you can. Hey, we're outside now. Isn't it nice? There's a little doggy asleep in the shade over there. His name is Kalijah.
Hey, Robert.
He's cute, isn't he? Can you say that? Cute?
Robert, can I talk to you for just a minute?
It's our friend Mr. Heyman from across the way. He has the house right next to ours. He's going to be coming over here in a minute to talk
Yeah, I just
to
want to
us.
have a word with you, Robert.
Hi, Mr. Heyman. How are
How
you?
you doing? I'm doing
It's
pretty
a beautiful
good.
day in the neighborhood, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good, except I
Sure.
got something on my mind.
Well, anything you'd like to say, you can say to me.
Well, my son Timmy, he's been spending a lot of time at your
Timmy's
house.
special kid.
Yeah,
I
well,
like
frankly, I don't like him spending so much time over at your house.
him.
all
Timmy
right?
has to feed my fish. That's his special
Well,
job.
he's not going to feed him anymore because I told him not to go over to your house anymore, and I'd appreciate it if you'd stay away from him. You understand what I'm talking about?
I thought you might have liked the lederhosen that I made for him.
No, I didn't like it. I thought it was an unusual gift for an adult man to give a child.
I lined them with silk so they wouldn't chafe him in the summer.
Yeah, listen, and
I was going to put a zipper in, but I thought the buttons would be good
What I'm
for
talking
his
about
fingers, you know.
is you and the children in the neighborhood. I think you spend an inordinate amount of time with kids, you know?
Now, you started there after the state and everything, but how did you run into Tom Lennon? Because, I mean, that is the second thing I associate with you with most is Regional 911.
Oh, God, I could kiss you.
So fucking good on that show.
Thank you very much. That was so much fucking fun. God, that was fun. I begged for an audition. That was
Really?
it. Yep. I loved the first season of that show, obviously, and then I heard that they were casting a wider net for the second season because you know that first season was basically just the cast doing all the parts. Like their faces are blurred out.
That's right. Yeah.
But everybody plays 3 or 4 parts, right? And then they were going to start using more people in season 2, and I was like, I remember I called my manager and I was like, I don't care how this happens, I've got to get in there.
Yeah.
Like I don't just that is our top priority right now.
Yeah.
Just get me in that door.
Yeah.
And so he did. Mm-hmm. And that audition is like it kills me that show is not on the air anymore for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But mostly because I want more people to experience what that audition is.
Of course, yeah.
Which is you go in and you talk to the casting person, just like in a waiting room, and her question is, did you call the police or did somebody call the police on you? That's all they want to know.
Uh-huh.
And then you tell them that. She goes in, tells the cast and the producers, who are all sitting around a table in character, and you walk in and you just start a scene.
Holy shit.
You just start a scene.
Oh,
so you got to come in with a character and sort of a rough idea of what your situation would be. And so I did, and it was long. We were in there for probably a half hour.
Fuck.
And everybody was in character, and it was just fun as hell.
Wow.
And I was super nervous because I didn't want to fuck it up. But as soon as it started, I started having just a great time. And so I had this character. He didn't have a name at the time, but he was the proprietor of By Curios. And the store was being robbed, and it was all going on while there were kids taking collectibles away.
Okay.
And so they liked that character, and then Rachel Harris came in with an idea that she was Dangle's ex-wife who needed to get the final divorce papers signed so that she could marry somebody who's even gayer.
Yeah.
And so thank God they put us together. They were like, oh, these, that is we can kill 2 birds with one stone. And so that was it. That was it. And I just got a call from them. I'm going to be doing their new movie, Hell Baby.
What? Really?
Super excited, yeah.
Fucking congratulations.
Thank you.
Holy shit.
So excited.
Did you...
So excited.
I mean, I know people don't always like to talk about things that necessarily didn't launch, but did you work on you did work on the other pilot, correct? Because I think when I interviewed you for my documentary, you had just finished shooting that other pilot.
Yep.
It was basically about a Hooters-esque thing.
It was a Hooters-esque kind of a thing called The Strip. What was the restaurant called?
I'm trying to remember because you told me about it, and I have it on tape somewhere.
It was funny. It was really. It was.
And
a
that's
funny
what everybody
show.
said. Everybody said it was funny.
It just didn't get picked
Was
up.
it a 3-camera this time?
It was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's stuff what you had mentioned. But
anyway,
it was.
That was a crazy experience. I mean, obviously, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. What I love about them is that, when you're in, you're in. It's similarly with MTV. It's difficult to get in, to win their trust at first. They're friendly. In both cases, very friendly. But it's. Once you prove yourself to them, they'll just keep calling you back. And it's they know who they like to work with, and that's that.
That's just got to be so... I mean, to go back to, the guy waiting desperately to get into that group at the end of college, and then to now be in that. That's a fraternity that... Oh, it is. Jesus Christ, man.
It is. It's I love them. They're super fun to work with. Yeah. And they do huge stuff.
Sure.
Like this, and pilots and stuff.
Yep.
But then they'll also just like they like to do smaller, weird kind of stuff also.
Yeah.
And I did a weird little short with them at the end of last year that I can't wait to see. Just a goofy thing, just for fun. And they're very active, and they just like to do stuff, and I'm thrilled to be in that orbit.
Yeah.
That first shoot day with Tom Lennon and Rachel Harris, I was like, I think I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
Waiting to go on. And they shoot very fast. They do like 3 or 4 whole sketches in a day, which is unheard of.
Jesus.
And I think ours was the last. And it was the day after my birthday, like my 30-somethingth birthday. And I was super hungover and waiting to go on. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to keep up with these two because they're like geniuses. And as soon as I was nervous as hell, and I think that it was probably pretty obvious because I was pacing and whatever. I think I still smoked at the time. And Tom pulled me aside just before the camera started rolling and was like, "Just remember, we're playing awful people. We're just playing awful people." And that just suddenly I was like, oh, "Okay, everything makes sense. I just have to go and be the worst person I can be. And just fuck around, and they will edit it and make it all look good."
Yeah.
And that was the best.
That's insane. Is this? I mean, this is probably not the first ensemble thing you heard, obviously, but is it the first thing that really stuck with you, or is there early stuff you can remember that?
I loved early Saturday Night Live, although again I didn't get most of it.
Sure.
I loved Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
And I even remember I remember the Mary Tyler Moore show that David Letterman was on. She had a nighttime variety show for half a season. Yeah. That I remember I really liked. And then David Letterman's morning show, which had a lot of crazy sketch stuff on it. I loved. But this, the National Lampoon album, was like, to me, it was like, it was almost like, because I was starting to love college music also. Because of my older brothers, because they were in college when I was a little kid. But they would come home with records by The Clash and stuff like that, and it was stuff that my peers didn't know. Yeah, and it made me feel so good to know things that other people didn't know. Yeah, and this was sort of that. It was this was like an indie comedy album. Yeah,
it seems like being introduced into a fraternity in its own way. Comedy is that way for a lot of people. Once they realize that, for some people like me, it was like Monty Python. Because I'm the only one who gets this. Clearly, Where did you grow up originally?
St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis. Oh, okay, so that's basically where my dad's side of the family is from. Really? So yeah. So how did that inform your comedy interests?
I don't know that it did so much. I mean, obviously there's a lot of craziness and repression there that's fun to make fun of.
Sure.
But there used to be on Saturday mornings on KMOX, an AM station, a thing called the Saturday Morning Comedy Hour. And my dad and I would he would time his errands just to listen to it, and it would be a lot of Nichols and May and Bob and Ray and things like that, and so I would beg to come along with him, and we would just sit and listen to that stuff because a lot of it is just absolutely brilliant. And it was sort of the National Lampoon would not get played because it was sort of it was an earlier sort of cleaner time or whatever. But that shit was great. Yeah, oh my god,
that's amazing because you don't really
Newhart.
Really?
Stuff. Oh yeah.
God. So was your dad was he a big comedy fan, or did he just appreciate comedy?
I think he just appreciated it.
Yeah.
He's kind of there's sort of, it's funny now that we're now that I'm a grown up and stuff. We'll occasionally I'll meet my parents in New York because I like to go to New York a lot. Yeah, and I'll meet them there and we'll go and see shows. And my dad just flips out over shows. Yeah, even if they're mediocre, he just gets into a zone where he's just he just whoops and hollers at the end of the show. He gets so excited about it, and that's a side that I didn't know was there. Yeah. And it's weird to think I might have gotten my performing side from my dad, who's a stockbroker. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, he gets really into it. Loves a spectacle, and that's just that's not something I ever knew.
That's so interesting.
It's weird.
The things you learned about your parents.
Yeah.
Just later when they're comfortable to be people with you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just make sure.
Grease too.
Yep.
Fuck, yeah, that's great.
That got called out yesterday too. One of
really?
He started singing songs from the show, which I was really cool. Yeah. That one's signed by Leif Green, who plays Davey. He's very hidden in the corner there. Yeah.
The saddest thing I've ever seen on film is Michelle Pfeiffer sort of galloping out of the frame at the end of Cool Rider. There's the whole thing where she's like, the jean jacket is sort of half on and half off, and she does this weird...
Yeah, it's not quite a dance. It's supposed to be.
It is, and it's... COOLRIDER. Even the song is out of ideas.
Oh, yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
It is real bad.
And I loved it so much as a kid. And then I got this... Yeah, I loved it a lot as a kid, because I was introduced to that just as a young... I was just young, and it was exciting and fun, and they had leather jackets, so that was cool.
Sure.
And I hadn't seen Grease first, for some reason.
Right.
And then when I got older, it's like, oh, okay, I can be ironic now. I'm a teenager. I get it. It's dumb. Oh, but I still, I get it.
Yeah.
And then years later, I started a documentary that didn't get completed, where I was interviewing a bunch of people who love this movie.
Yeah.
And I got a new appreciation for it, because this one guy basically got the impetus for him to come out was because of this movie. And I was like,
really?
It was that important for this guy. And he came out.
Wow.
And it's like, all right, I can't really deny it.
Maxwell Caulfield has
some
raw sexual power. I will say that.
Yeah.
If I had seen that as a kid, I think it would have come out much earlier.
Right. Well, you can see Leif Green right there. You can actually see him staring at him. He admitted thoroughly he had the biggest crush on him in the world.
Is he the guy closest to him?
Yeah, Davey. Yeah, the little one.
Yeah.
The one who signed this. Yeah, he was just... When we interviewed him, he was just gushing over it. It was the funniest thing ever.
Interesting. Yeah, he's beautiful. And he's married to Haley Mills?
Yes, he is.
That's crazy.
She's like 20 years older than him.
That's crazy.
He's like 50-something now, so she's in her 70s.
Holy shit. Was she wasn't... Oh, is it Haley Mills or Juliette Mills?
Haley.
Okay.
The one from Parent Trap. Parent Trap, yeah.
Because she's not the one who was on Passions, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Although Adrian Zmed was on Passions.
Was he really?
Yes, he played a head in a box.
I'll be damned. It kills me that show's not
I know
on
way too much about
this. It was
this.
terrible.
That's what I
love
hear.
That show. It was so bad.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen on television. It's fascinating.
That's great.
Yeah. And you didn't have to watch it all the time. Like, it would be the same... They would be at the same party talking about, like, I've just found this newspaper. It says you're not the father! Or whatever. And, but for, like, 3 weeks.
Holy
shit.
Know what I
mean? And they'd all be standing in the same position, wearing the same clothes. It was so slow. It was like for people with brain damage.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's amazing.
God, I love that.
Bless me, Father, for I've sinned.
And how long has it been since your last confession, my
About
son?
4 months, I guess, Father. I missed Mass about 15 times. I lied a lot. I fucked this girl. Excuse my French, Father. I went all the way with this girl.
Don't be embarrassed, my son. I've heard it all before. I've heard much, much worse than that.
You heard cunnilingus?
I hear that from second graders.
Wow. Wobbly warhead? You heard that? Slamming a warhead at her?
Years ago.
Low clearance clit? You heard that?
Dwarf cock.
Bosom burger?
Scrotum breath.
Albino beaver?
Iguana tits.
You know what we used to call nuns? Penguin pussy.
Ubangi bottom.
Madam ovary?
Slime slit.
Mashing nipple lick?
Bug nuts.
Cock nose?
Vagina.
Oriental crack?
Superdome pussy.
Afterbirth on toast? That's pizza.
Punk piss.
Hillbilly snatch?
Boob pus.
You heard rhino clit?
Rhino clit. That's disgusting. That's terrible. Nice mouth. You kiss your mother with that mouth? You eat with that mouth? Garbage mouth.
Garbage mouth, toilet tongue, sewer mouth, sewer chute.
Are there other, well, I'm sure there are others, but are there other, like, big vinyl albums that stick out to you? They wouldn't have to stick out as vinyl, because a lot of people are covering it, like, tapes, whatever.
Right. Comedy-wise?
Yeah. Or, you talk about music. A couple people have come on. Jordan Morris came on yesterday and talked about They Might Be Giants for
Oh, yeah.
So,
good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes hand in hand with being a comedy nerd, doesn't it?
I think it does.
They Might Be Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them a lot, but the same kind of thing. Like, I like them, but they came out in high school, and or they came out when I was in high school, and I really liked them a lot.
Yeah.
But then there were other kids who liked them a real lot.
Yeah.
And wore trench coats and stuff.
Yep.
And it was like, I don't know if I can fully get on board with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see, what did I love? I've just always, like, even after my brothers graduated college and became real people and whatever and stopped, like being as into music, them bringing home stuff like this and like The Clash and like, the English Beat and whatever, and things that like only certain people knew, like I stayed that way forever. And it just made me like root for the underdog forever.
Yeah.
I remember there was a guy named Tommy Keene, who I sort of know in real life now, who was like this incredible pop songwriter, and if you know him, you love him.
Okay.
but most people don't. And I remember this is like first like big album came, or big like major label album came out in '86.
Okay.
And I just seized on it, and I fucking loved it. And I was the only person I knew who he was, or liked him, or cared about him. There was one girl at a girls' school that like I sort of knew, who and like we knew that we were the only Tommy Keene fans in the world, and we went to see him at Mississippi Nights on the Landing in St. Louis, and we were like 2 of the 6 people there, the only 2 people dancing, and I'll never forget it. It was like, this kind of shit made me love the underdog forever.
Yeah,
and I still do.
Yeah,
I like everything, but I especially love the underdog.
Sure. Is there any comedy that you can think of that kind of fits that people don't think about?
Fucking love.
Because I keep discovering stuff that I know was big at one time, but now nobody fucking cares about.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, the Ruddles.
Yeah.
Like that was something that, like, to me was like it was a huge part of my life seeing that on public television when I was like 8 years old or something.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved it. And it's one of those things that also, like, you get older and most people now people know what it is.
Sure.
It's, you know, you can get it on DVD or whatever.
Of course.
But like in the early '80s, before it was released on vinyl, it was just this thing that would pop up on late night TV sometimes.
Yeah.
Like people didn't know about it, and I loved knowing about it. And I'd like scour the TV guide to see if it was coming out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, God, I love that. I would love to find that again.
Yeah, we did an episode about that recently. I grabbed the soundtrack. To me, it still holds up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we talked about, like, when we talked about the album, we talked about the music, and we were like, some of it's maybe, for some people who were there, we had a couple people who didn't really like the Ruddles as much as I love it. Yeah. You know, so they're like, well, it's not, some of it's a little too close to the Beatles or whatever, but and some of it's just like parody for the sake of it. But I still think nobody else is really. I mean, it spawned a whole new mockumentary thing. You know, Spinal Tap was, I think, only 3 or 4 years later.
Yeah,
you know, so
yeah,
I could see the Ruddles. The Ruddles is
absolutely
amazing.
I'm trying to think what else I had on like vinyl or cassette that was comedy growing up. There wasn't a ton. There really wasn't like let's go through. Let's go jog my memory.
This is
for the listener. It's early on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, well, it certainly is. I have 50 more in there. But let's see. We got some George Carlin. We got some Tom Lehrer. We got some Andy Griffith. More Tom Lehrer apparently. We got Joan Rivers, which I haven't
certainly
listened to
Joan
yet.
Rivers.
This is not.
I always liked Joan Rivers. I think that my parents thought that Joan Rivers was much dirtier than she really was.
Yeah. I've had that concept
wasn't.
too. No, not at all. No,
she really wasn't. I mean, she was a little bit racy, but not really.
Sure, there's some Jack.
And in fact, when she had her, early, she had like a morning show for a while.
Yeah,
and that would sometimes be on when I was at home having breakfast or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she would sometimes be talking to a guest or whatever, and laugh. And then laugh harder. Mm-hmm. And my mother would be like, she's thinking of something filthy dirty that she can't say on TV. She is filthy. Yeah. And I don't think she was. I think, sometimes you're just filling time.
Yeah, of course.
Trying to think of the next thing to say or whatever.
Yeah.
Now doing it, there's a lot of fucking stuff that you think is a certain way. Yeah. It's really just the person trying to think of something next to say.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I fucking love Joan Rivers. I remember a kid down the street had the What Becomes a Semi-Legend Most.
Yeah, and
loved
that one too. Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet. I need to.
It's pretty
good.
I've never heard it. Pretty funny.
I've only seen her TV stuff. So
yeah, it's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Pretty funny. She's good. I don't care about people's clothes. I wish that she would go in a different direction.
Yeah, just be funny.
Yeah, right? Talk about other shit because you're really funny. Same goes for Kathy Griffin. I think Kathy Griffin is hilarious.
Yeah.
When she's talking about her personal life.
Right.
I don't care that she thinks Clay Aiken is gay or whatever.
Right.
Because he is. Yep. And we've always known it.
Yep.
And,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting when people get caught up in sort of, they've got a character that's paying, so I guess that's what you do. But it's too bad when they're like great comedic minds at work. Yeah. And I don't understand how Joan Rivers is still, how old is she now? How's she still doing it?
That old?
She's
got to be in her 80s.
She's still got apparently quite a sharp mind and is still quite funny as fuck.
And did you see the documentary?
No, I really want to.
It's good. It's really good. Yet. But spoiler, she's got file cabinets full of index cards of jokes.
Holy shit!
Like a wall of drawers full of jokes.
You don't see that anymore.
No, you don't.
Comedians aren't like that anymore.
No, they're not.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I feel like I would love to meet somebody my age who if they have a secret room that they don't want to tell everybody about. This,
well, they do, and it's Twitter.
Yeah,
you know
that's true.
That's true. That's all I do all day long is just make jokes on Twitter.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the thing that bums me out is that like then they're just out there and they're gone and I forget about them.
Yeah.
And they're not like, I guess they're compiled by the Library of Congress. Which
Really?
is true. Yeah.
Really?
Like they're all being compiled by the Library of Congress. And I would love to look at some of my earlier work.
Yeah.
But I can't access it because Twitter only goes back so far.
Really?
And I'd like to see how I've grown as a Twitter artist.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
Weird.
fucked up, really.
But I don't. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's not true, but I think it is.
No, it is one of those things that sounds like, yeah. That's funny.
Weird, right?
Yeah. Did you? I'm trying to think. I had a sketch group that I wanted to ask you about. I was totally gonna, and I'm totally blanking on it right now. I probably just have to go hunt through my.
We'll
albums
fix
right
this.
now.
Post what?
Yeah, right. I've already asked you about Fire Sign, and that
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily your thing. Maybe I've got something in here. There's some Newhart. There's some Nichols and May actually.
Sure.
Queen is not comedy. I don't know why Queen is in there. Some others.
Is it News of the World?
Yeah, News of the World is in there. There's some
Okay.
XTC.
Because you know what, I'm not a huge fan of Family Guy, but it was on last week or the week before, and I was just lazy on my couch, and there was a whole subplot about how terrifying the News of the World album cover
Oh
is.
yeah, it's scary.
And I hadn't thought of it in a long time.
Yeah.
I remember being 6 years old and just being like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, it creeps.
Why is there a robot made of stone that's got blood on his hand? And
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. You know
That
what it
fucked me
was?
up for a good long time.
I found and again, you don't have. This is Spinal Tap.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know because
You know,
talked
I didn't
about the Rebels.
see Spinal Tap until much later
Uh-huh.
in my life. Like, I was probably well into my 20s before I
Really?
saw Spinal Tap, which is weird.
So how did it hit you? Because I think it's one of those things that does work really well as a young teenager.
Yeah.
You know, like Monty Python.
Yeah, it's one of those things that had been pumped up for so long that it
Yeah.
couldn't quite live up to it. Sure, of course it was great.
Yeah.
But, you know what I really loved was in the early days of DVD, it came out and they did the commentary in character.
Yes.
I don't know if it was the first Spinal Tap DVD, it might have been like a special edition or whatever, but that to me was absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Super funny, and funny through the whole thing.
Sure.
Hello!
Have we been too loud? Okay. She's
My
whispering
voice-
still.
My voice carries.
No, you're fine. I think somebody else came in.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Maybe our next person.
Ooh, who's our next person?
Cole Stratton.
Oh, I know Cole
I
Stratton.
know. You were on his show.
He's lovely.
He's a very nice fellow.
Very nice guy.
No, but I think it was going to be. I also wanted to ask you about Monty Python, if that ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The first time around, I was kind of too young to get it.
Sure.
And it was just so surreal, and I don't know why it didn't click with me.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid. But when it came back on MTV in the 80s,
Yeah.
it was right when I would get home from school. There would be 2 episodes in a row, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I would tape it and then watch it again.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. And again, because it's just weird. It was just those guys following what they thought was funny.
Right.
You know? And if you didn't get it, fine. But it was just totally their own crazy thing.
It's already noon here in Burgerglob, Yugoslavia, where little Nadia Comaneci is preparing for her final floor exercise. Alex Van Diesel, do you think it's a little chilly here in the Tito Pavilion today?
It sure is, Don. And you know, Don, the new leotards the girls are wearing this year are cut to ride so high on the buttocks and hips that this chilly air is finding a lot of exposed young flesh. Already I can see that little goosebumps have risen on the thighs of the young Romanian girl.
Alex, it looks like Nadia is ready to begin. She stands erect, pert little chest thrust out, shoulders back, head held high. And she begins with a leap and a cabriole into a hurdle jump, followed by a flick-flack and a front handspring, then a step out into a chassé forward, and a perfect handstand. Ooh.
So far, Don, a flawless performance.
And now a stomach roll, a fish hop, a Tinsiger forward. Now 2 Maurer flip-flops, followed by a lunge into a tuck somersault. And an Arab spring.
Don, did you notice how Nadia's nipples stood out? Absolute perfection.
Boy, I'd like to fuck her.
Well, Don, I'm no Leslie, but...
Hello, you're on the air.
Do you miss possessing an album for new material that you get?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. In fact, I just went to Amoeba the other day, and I bought some CDs, which I hadn't done in so long. And CDs are great, but yeah, I miss vinyl.
Yeah.
I have a turntable at home, and I really like taking out a record and putting it on and all that. Like, it sounds so warm and
not to bring up
art is
Chris
so
Hardwick
big.
again, but Chris Hardwick was talking about the smell of vinyl, which
Yeah.
no one's ever talked about before.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's It is great. There is a place called Bar One on Whitsett and Burbank, very close to where I live. And they do a vinyl night on, I think it's Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah, you can bring in vinyl. You sign up. They'll play a side of whatever vinyl you bring in, and it's great. It's really good. It just sounds like home.
It's hard for me to like say, have a thing that's about vinyl and then say I appreciate vinyl without people think I'm being a hipster. But I do think there's something to. I mean, hell, this is a giant this is a poster quality disc that I got of a picture. Yeah, I'd like to frame it, although then I wouldn't be able to play it. But
yeah. What I and I've been thinking about this, I've been very deeply into early 70s Stevie Wonder. Because he had a patch in the early 70s that is just untouchable. Yeah. And the idea of, Intervisions coming out, and you had to go to the store to buy it, and you would buy it, and you couldn't even listen to it on the way home. Right. Because there's nothing for you to do that with. Sure. There weren't even 8 tracks yet when that came out. Yeah. So you have to go home and unwrap it and put it, there was a room in your house that you had to be in if you wanted to hear an album. Yeah. You couldn't just take it with you anywhere you went. Right. And that must have just been that amount of build-up to an album that is so incredibly good must have just blown people away. Absolutely. No wonder people were on so many drugs in the 70s. Yeah, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's the only way to make the experience better. Yeah, and I think the big difference here, since we're talking about comedy, is I won't say no one's releasing comedy albums, but it's just stand-ups who, I've got a new hour, I'm going to do my album, and a lot of them fall into the ether, unfortunately. Yeah. There's no sketch guys, there's what do you call it, there's Super like an old man. Sure, yeah, there's that, and then there's also, Lonely Island. The Lonely Island. Oh, yeah. And they're more of a music group. They're not such a sketch group, you know, but you're not seeing that. There's no influx in the 70s, which is where most of these discs are from. Yeah. 60s and 70s, there's just this huge... There had to have been a huge demand for comedy at home, but now that we've got the internet, I feel like that's... No, it's, everything is flooded. I like to think of myself as somebody who keeps up. I can't keep up. Sure. There's too much stuff coming out. Right. There's so many bands that have, huge fan bases, a bunch of albums, and I don't know who they are. Yeah. Because I can't. Right. And there's just too much stuff coming at me from every angle. Yeah, it's just to the point where I just turned 31, and I feel like an old man, because I feel like I couldn't watch MTV at this point, because I would feel, there's just too much. It is not going to get better. No. It's only going to get worse. Yeah, it's frightening to me. Yeah. If what I usually ask people towards the end is if someone was to ask you, why should I listen to this album? Why would you recommend it to somebody? I would say that it is just such it is such an assault of just crazy, creative, just weird, smart humor. Yeah. None of it goes on too long. I don't think anything's longer than 2 minutes. No, yeah. It is just this crazy, rapid fire, short attention span, just onslaught of comedy that is funny. Mm-hmm. But then when you put it in its historical perspective, is crazy. This was 1977. Yeah, there was nothing like this. There was no Adult Swim. There was no. There was barely Saturday Night Live. Mm-hmm. There was no They didn't borrow from anybody. They just got a tree of weed and went into a studio and just recorded a bunch of crazy shit, and it's really funny and it holds together. Yeah, it's one of those things that doesn't feel written. It's so hard, there's a lot of great sketch albums that don't feel written to me. Yeah, so, you have to it just and also it just seems like fun. It just seems like they're having so much fun with each other. Yeah. I love it. I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And, I'm sorry, before we go, you should probably plug anything coming up and anything that people can find you on. Let's see. ADrinkWithDave.com. We're about to do a little Kickstarter for our second season. Nice. Because we want to be able to pay our crew. Yeah. We literally paid them in sandwiches last season, and they're really good, and they're worth more than sandwiches. Yeah. So we're going to try and kickstart that. It's a really good show. Thank you very much. I also have a pilot on H2 called How Many People Does It Take? And it should be airing again soon. Just do a little TiVo search for it. Okay. Or check my Twitter, at Dave Holmes. I will plug it relentlessly when it's about to air. Because I'd love to be able to do more. Sweet. And, and the Friday 40... the little comedy game show that I do with my friend Scott Gimple is going to be moving to the Nerd Melt Theater. Nice. Sometime in May or June. We don't have the exact dates yet, but again, follow me on Twitter. Awesome. And I'll let you know. All right, Dave, thank you so much. Thank you. And, everybody... This was fun. Thanks for listening. And listen to the album. It's really funny. Please do. And have a good thing. Have a good thing.
Come on, goddammit. Excuse me, but this is ridiculous. We've been putting out, now put up. Put up or shut up. We're going off the air if you don't do it. I mean, you're only hurting yourself. All right, I'm sorry. Nobody's calling now because I blew up. Now, I'm sorry. I'll play a record or something. But please, somebody call 555-2150. I'm sorry for yelling. I apologize.
Comedy on Vinyl is recorded at Fort Awesome Studios in beautiful downtown Burbank, California. Our producer is Mike Warden, our host is Jason Klom, and he's also the editor. Comedy on Vinyl is a Stolen Dress entertainment production. You can check out all of our other podcasts, books, videos, other audio stuff, probably some writing, at stolendress.com. And please check out Comedy on Vinyl at facebook.com/Comedy on Vinyl, twitter.com/Comedy on Vinyl, and please subscribe to us on iTunes, rate us highly, and spread the word. Thank you so much for listening to Comedy on Vinyl this week, and have a very good thing.
Lover, put it to me. Lover, suck it to me. Lover, screw it to me. Lover, do it to me. Lover, wham it to me. Lover, jam it to me. Lover, ram it to me. Lover, slam it to me.
Oh, baby. You know I got a love thing for you here that just goes on and on. You ain't never been loved like you're gonna be loved when I love you now, baby. I'm gonna take you further than you've ever been, girl. There's no end to my love machine. This rocket ship of mine is gonna take you to the moon, gonna show you the stars. Oh, great!
Great. Great for you, maybe. What about me, Mr. Rocket Ship?
What about you? You are beautiful. That's what you are.
Take me to the moon, take you to the stars. Don't you think you have some unfinished business, fruit?
I'm hungry. I'm gonna go fix myself a double-decker sandwich, finish an entire bag of potato chips, and drain a couple of beers. Do you want anything?
Do I want anything? Yeah, I want something.
What?
What? What do you mean, what? Get over here. Give it to me, love. Give it to me, love.